The man reached out his hand and used his finger as a gun, aimed at the bird in the air and said, "Bah." The bird was instantly smashed to pieces. The good friend was surprised and asked the man how he did it. The man did not answer. Instead, he took his friend to the car park. With a wave of his hand, he could move the car through the air. With a single swipe, the balance on his phone becomes $10 million in seconds. And it gets even better. His hands can instantly transform into mechanical form. The main character explains, "Just last night he was hit by a meteor in the park. When he woke up, he found that his whole body had been transformed. With this power, the first thing he had to do, he took his best friend Alan to the school bully. The bully is arrogantly trying to extort money from Alan. He smashes the bully's hand away. The bully gets angry and grabs it. He fights back calmly. The bully fell to his knees in pain with just a little force. He wants him to say he's sorry. The bully says sorry in pain. After saying that, he let go of the bully and pointed his finger at him. The kind-hearted Ellen is in a hurry to stop him. The bully is bad, but he is not guilty. The hero decides to let the bully go. I'm sure it's easy to see. This unexpected power is slowly awakening the evil within him. The source of his evil comes from his divorced family. His mother was abandoned by his father. He works alone in a restaurant washing dishes, and his father married another woman. He has 2 children. The 4 of them live happily ever after. Every time I come to my father's house, he may seem silent, but he was already jealous, so he raised his hand to his father. But as he was about to strike, he sees his half-siblings, and he sees his father smiling at him. He decided to give up. On the way back, the more he thought about it, the more upset he became. He breaks into a stranger's house. He raises his hand in silence. First he kills the man, then he kills the 3 members of the family, one by one. In the middle of the killing, a strange old man comes in. The man kills him without saying a word. Soon the murder is on the news, and he awakens his demons. He becomes more and more indulgent. He uses his powers to take a bag of money to Alan. Ellen asked him in return if you had killed the man. The hero acquiesced. Ellen was horrified, decided he didn't want to be friends with him anymore. He didn't say anything. Alan didn't understand, and it didn't matter to him. With the money, the most important thing was that he could give his mother a good life. But that day, as the 2 were walking home, but then some policemen appeared. They suspect the man of being involved in the murder. They want to take him back to investigate. He knows he's guilty. He leaves his mother and runs away alone. The police shoot him. He kills some of them with his bare hands. Then he flies away. He soon becomes a wanted man. In an age of advanced information, all the information about the man was stripped away. Some say his family was divorced. That's why he's such a psychopath. Fortunately, there was a girl, Anna, who had a crush on him, believed that he was misunderstood. She took him in. As public opinion grew, the reporters turned their attention to the hero's mother. The mother cries helplessly in front of the camera. Eventually, the mother commits suicide. Unable to cope with the pressure, when he learns of the news, he is distraught. He decides to take his revenge, and at the same time, an old man is plotting to capture him. The old man who saw him kill that night and was killed by him, he was also a supernatural being. He was also struck by a meteor that night. He seems to be a social person with no dignity. When he was on duty, he was willing to kneel down and beg for mercy to please his boss. But as soon as he got off work, he came to the hospital, only to see him press his hands together, and he wakes up a terminally ill patient who's frozen to death. Yes, the old man has superpowers. He was hit by a meteor in the park the other day. When he woke up, he found that his nearsightedness had somehow healed. When he returned home, he gradually felt something unusual in his body. He was very thirsty. He drank several sips of water and still felt thirsty. In order not to let his wife and children find out, he ran to his room to see. His hands were smoking. He quickly took off his clothes. He found something embedded in his arm. He pressed it. There was a part in the fingernail cap. The arm turns into a machine gun. Just then, my wife, who had heard the noise, came in. The old man was back to his old self in an instant. A few days later, the old man was walking along the road. He saw a bird dying on the ground. He picked up the bird. He saw through the bird's body structure. The next moment, he saved the bird. The old man's face was full of shock. Suddenly, he heard another distant voice calling for help. He followed the voice. He found a mother in a hospital. A mother was begging the doctor to save her child. The old man used his powers to save the child. At that moment, he was overwhelmed with joy because his life had been so depressing. His boss at work looked down on him. His wife and children at home didn't like him. He thought he was a loser. But now, not only can he truly help people who are suffering, he has found the meaning of life. On this night, he once again followed the help seeker to a family's home. He saw a family of 3 being killed. It was our hero who did it. He raises his hand, and with a bang, he struck the old man down too. He walks away in silence. The old man woke up with a start. He remembered that he had been there that night when the meteor hit him. It seems that he too has gained superpowers. Shortly afterwards, he finds the hero's best friend, Alan. Alan knew that he had gone bad. He also wants him to stop. He tells the old man all of his powers. The first one is the ability to use his fingers as a gun. It took the old man days of practice before he could barely shoot a can. This took up most of his energy. He went to rest. He drank the whole bottle of water in one go. Suddenly, he felt sick all over. He threw up all the water he had just drunk on Alan. It dawned on the old man. There was salt in this bottle of water. It would have a repulsive effect on his body. The transformed man must have had the same weakness. The 2 men didn't have time to rejoice. On the other hand, the hero has already started his next move. Because his mother had been killed by a keyboard warrior, he found the keyboard warriors through his powers. He came to their screens. The keyboard warrior was spamming the internet. Suddenly a man appeared on the screen. He uses his finger as a gun. Says he wants to kill the keyboard warrior. The keyboard warrior laughed. Baka. Sugaki. Only to see the man say, the keyboard man froze. A hole really appeared in his shoulder. The man shot him several more times and killed him. At the same time, all the other keyboard warriors who had cursed at the man's mother. The hero appeared on the screen. He uses his powers to kill them all. Revenge for his dead mother. At night, the hero is so exhausted that he lies down at Anna's house to rest. Anna comes out for a drink of water. She suddenly finds a group of SWAT officers in her house. The hero senses that something is wrong. As soon as he comes out, he is shot by the police. He protects Anna with his body and immediately fights back. He kills all the SWAT officers in a flash. After the smoke clears, the hero recovers. He sees that the good Anna has been killed by mistake. The hero is devastated, watching his loved ones die one by one, and a rage builds up. He connects to every screen in the world. He shoots indiscriminately and wildly. He wants everyone in the world to die for his mother and Anna. This act not only alerted the police, it also alerts the old man, who also has superpowers. The old man uses his powers to cut off the hero's signal and has his best friend, Alan, go live. Tell everyone to throw away all their phones. Don't look at the screen. The hero doesn't care about that. He unleashed the mechanical prototype on his back, attacking the whole city like crazy. The old man had to come to him, using his finger as a gun. He took him down unawares, but it didn't work. Both his physical strength and his mastery of his powers. The man was the better man. The old man was beaten to a pulp. The hero looks relieved. He wants some water to replenish his strength. The old man knocks out his water too. The man rushes over and grabs the old man's salt water. He drained half the bottle in one go, turns his hand into a gun again. He shoots a tracer bullet at the old man. The old man can only run away. He flees to outer space, and the hero follows him. He grabs the old man by the neck. He's about to give him the final blow, but the shot was empty, and then the man's right hand went up in smoke. His whole body was in pain, and gradually went limp. The old man turns into a gun and shoots him, and knocked him out of space and back to Earth. The old man returns to a building. There is his daughter. She is in a comatose state from the explosion. The old man rushes to bring her back to life. As father and daughter rejoice, someone kicked the old man out of the way. It was the hero. I didn't expect him to have such a strong life force. On the contrary, the old man was at the end of his tether. He had to be punched and punched by the hero. In the end, he didn't kill the old man. Instead, he dragged the old man's daughter with him. He wants the old man to feel the pain of his loss too. The man throws the woman down the stairs. The old man roared in anger. His whole body exploded with energy. He slams into the old man. The man also chooses to punch the old man, but as soon as he hit the old man's face, the man's arm shattered. The old man shattered the man's body. He flew straight down. The strength of his father's love overcame him and caught his daughter. After making sure his daughter was okay, the old man turned to leave. There are still many people injured. There are many more to save. At the end of the story, the hero still hasn't died. He comes to his best friend Alan's house. Alan is first frozen. Then he bursts into tears. He didn't blame the hero. Instead, He opened a new game. He wanted to play with him like before, but then he turned around and the hero was gone. He came to visit Alan only because he was left behind. Some things can never be returned, whether it's the man or the old man. One family is divorced. One is disliked by his family. Two unfortunate people. One chose to be kind. One chooses to fall into darkness. Being in the dark only makes you lonelier and lonelier. Embrace happiness to live better.